Welcome into Jets Overtime. We are presented by SiriusXM. Eric Allen out here at MetLife Stadium with Quincy Enunwa. The New York Jets dropped their season opener to the Pittsburgh Steelers by a 34-32 score. The National Football League put these teams against each other in Week 1 for a reason. What a game.
Man, exactly. I mean, I feel bad that I'm kind of excited about the way the game went, right? I think when you look at last season, there were some things that we weren't exactly happy about. Today, I think there were so many things that we could really count on that were good, right? The offense looked amazing. Justin Fields is explosive, elusive. Any E word you could think of that's ecstatic. That's how I felt watching him, right? Special teams, right? We had some good kicks from Nick Folk, right? Coming back, kicking a 54-yarder. I think those were some good things. Now, we have some other things that we'll talk about in the show that just did not go the way that the Jets wanted them to.
So many things to get to here, Quincy. You're talking about a game that started off exactly the opposite how everybody at home thought this was going to be. People thought this was going to be a defensive slugfest. Yeah. And now we found out why both of these teams signed their two quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers had played the past 2 seasons with the Jets. He comes in, comes back to MetLife. He throws for 4 touchdown passes. But if you are a Jets fan, how about the play of Justin Fields today, the former Steelers quarterback, 16-22 for 218 yards with 1 touchdown through the air. He also had 12 carries for 48 yards and 1 scoring run on a beautiful boot, 4th down.
2, actually. He had 2 touchdowns. He had that QB sneak as well.
Yep.
So, I mean, the guy really showed up. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm excited to see what he does for the rest of the season because even myself, I was a little bit surprised. I wasn't sure what to expect from Justin Fields. We watched the preseason. We watched some of his film last year. But I think this year, with this offense, Tanner Engstrand called one hell of a game. I mean, every play felt like it was going to get a positive game for them. The running game was amazing as well. Breece Hall did his thing today, not only on the ground but also through the air as well. So just a great job from the offense.
Man, you didn't know what to expect from Fields because we had seen him throughout training camp, but it was a small sample size in the preseason. This guy came out there today calm, cool, confident. Every time they got on the field, you anticipated the Jets offense to score. That's totally different than what we're accustomed to.
Yeah, I mean, I think both teams, both the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets fans should be happy about who they have at quarterback today, right? I think Justin Fields is exactly who the Jets need for this offense, and he's showing that he wants to be the guy for the rest of his career, right? He's showing so many great plays. I think the biggest thing for me is that the guys around him, you can see the swagger he was carrying. On that last touchdown he had with the boot, you just saw him going into the end zone. He looked comfortable, confident. A lot of the throws he was making, he had one throw that he threw to Josh Reynolds up the middle. Linebackers, split the linebackers, a zip on the pass. I mean, just a great showing from him today.
Well, we're going to get to your breakdown later, but you're right. Fields accounts for 3 touchdowns and 2 on the ground. And then the 1 touchdown pass to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. This game came down to the final seconds. Chris Boswell, the experienced Steelers kicker, hits a game winner from 60 yards out. But on the other side of the coin, the Jets had a final chance with that last possession. What did you see from the tunnel?
Yeah, I think the toughest thing for the team was just that, that offensively they weren't able to get it going. The legs that Justin Fields was using throughout the game, he just did not have the same time to do it in that fourth quarter drive. A couple of things just didn't go well for them. It's hard. They had so little time. They didn't give themselves enough time to really get a drive going. And unfortunately, the Pittsburgh Steelers were ears pinned, ready to go.
Jets showed a lot of promise today for first-year head coach Aaron Glenn. This is what he had to say after the game.
Exciting game. But I'm not into moral victories. This was a game that, man, it was back and forth, a lot of fighting. I thought offensively we did a lot of good things offensively that we can build on. The one thing to me that had to turn this game is, man, we can't have turnovers. We can't do it. We have to be a more disciplined team, right? There were some penalties that happened in that game that was true discipline issues. And, again, that's something that will be addressed because you will not be on the field with this team if you're going to cause us to lose games. You're going to cause issues like that. So we will get that addressed, and we got to continue to work. The one thing I told our guys, listen, we got Buffalo coming here next week. Damn good team. We all know that. The only thing we can do is get back to work next week And again, the things that I saw that was positive, man, we're going to build on those things. And I love what I saw on a lot of different areas. But there are some things we definitely got to fix, and we will get those things fixed going into the next week.
Specifically with the penalties, Aaron, that's something you've harped a lot all throughout camp.
Absolutely.
I know you're fine with the competitive ones, or the fine nerve with the competitive ones, but to see the Quincy roughing call, I mean,
well, just like I said, I mean, those things got to be fixed, and you can't be on the field with us. That's just what it is.
Just curious, your thoughts about the defense and how they played.
Gave up too many points. Can't do that.
Specifically, the secondary, it looked like Sauce was on DK, obviously, the whole game.
It's an AFC East showdown. Be at MetLife Stadium as your New York Jets take on the Buffalo Bills on Sunday, September 14th at 1 p.m., presented by Visa and Cash App. Get your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. You are watching Jets Overtime, presented by SiriusXM. The Jets dropped their season opener to the Pittsburgh Steelers by a 34-32 score. You just heard from Jets head coach Aaron Glenn, but I wanted to get right into your breakdown. The Jets got on the board a number of times today, 32 points in all, but Justin Fields' first touchdown pass goes to a familiar face, the guy he played college ball with at Ohio State, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an exciting day because we got to see not just the pass game but also the run game. I'm excited about watching this game because Justin Fields did so good reading the defense and also using his legs. On this first play here, we get to see it's a great job with the mesh. It's a deep cross, 2 deep crosses across the field, and the safety has to make a decision, right? And that's what makes it really difficult. But the first thing is I love that the Jets are starting to use more motions and shifts to really confuse the defense. So here we got the safety at the top. We got the deep crosses going across the field, and we got to look at, we got Josh Reynolds at the bottom, and we've got Garrett Wilson at the top, getting ready to run these deep crossers. It's like a deep mesh, right? So we have the opportunity for a rub. The safety has to choose. Which one does he want to take? He ends up taking the wrong guy. Garrett Wilson is wide open over the ball, over on the right side of the field. And the beautiful thing about this play is that he is a beautiful arc on that throw. Gets it right over the DB. If it was a flat throw, it would have been a pick. On this next one, we get to see a nice zone read, but before that, we get to see the motion. The motion is beautiful because it makes the linebackers shift. That shift in the linebackers causes them to get out of the gap, and it causes a bigger hole to be created. So we get to see on the backside a beautiful job by Tanner Angstrand calling a game that allows this team to make it confusing for other people. So there's a great lane up the middle, and Breece Hall gets the opportunity to run right up that lane, and the linebacker is going across the field, doesn't know which way to go. A great job in the zone read, and the offensive line did a great job today showing up for this team.
You know who does a great job for this team? Quincy Enunwa. That was a great breakdown, man. Garrett Wilson, 7 catches today for 95 yards. Breece Hall gets over 100 yards himself on the ground, 19 rush attempts, 107 yards. He averaged 5.6 yards per clip. You just broke down that 33-yard catch and run, 2 catches in all for 38 yards. So you saw it coming together. I know we're going to get to the defense. Everybody's telling me that in my ear. But you saw it offensively. You saw Fields, what he can do, the dynamic on the ground and through the air. You saw Wilson get his numbers and then the way they used him. And also, Breece Hall, he had a fire under his, I guess we'll say, butt.
Yeah, absolutely. 145 total yards for him, man. He was doing it on the ground. He was doing it in the air. That's what I love to see about Breece Hall. We know he's that X factor on this team. We always talk about Garrett Wilson, but I think Breece Hall is that guy, and I'm glad he's having the year that he's having, the start of the year that he's having. I hope he continues that. With the offense, with Garrett Wilson, with Justin Fields, man, that connection shined today. I think that's another thing that we're going to continue to see, and we still didn't really get to see Mason Taylor yet.
That's right. Jeremy Ruckert had a couple nice receptions in his own right. And how about Tyler Johnson being elevated from the practice squad on Saturday, making that
great
catch over the middle. The Jets had 5 plays by my count in the first half of 15-plus yards, 3 of them through the air and from Fields, and then 1 of them on the ground. Let's talk defense.
Yeah.
Rodgers, he got it done through the air. But the Jets got some pressure on the quarterback today.
Yeah.
Will McDonald had a fabulous game, 2 sacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Will McDonald, 2 sacks, 3 quarterback hits. Quinnen Williams was awake today. He was hungry. He was out there. Another 3 QB hits on him as well. I mean, they just were flying all over the field, man, and that's what you want to see. You want to see your defensive line really showing up because then it allows your secondary to not have to hold on for too long. They were getting back there, making it really difficult. And one of the things I talked about in my keys was that they needed to move Aaron Rodgers off the spot. They did a great job with that, but I think the one thing that kind of messed them up was some undisciplined things there, right? We had some missed tackles.
Yeah.
We had PI, and we had an unnecessary roughness.
So, unfortunately, Brandon Stevens was called for that pass interference flag on the Steelers' game-winning drive. But, again, 3 sacks of Aaron Rodgers today. But you got to give Rodgers credit, man.
Yeah.
And Arthur Smith, both coordinators called really good games. Arthur Smith for Pittsburgh and then Tanner Angstrand. We didn't know what this was actually going to look like in the regular season. I thought he was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And one thing I really want to give him his props because I think he was really one of the orchestrators of the Detroit offense that nobody really wanted to talk about. I think Ben Johnson's going to do a great job in Chicago, but I think Tanner Angstrand really was one of the real big brains behind it. Anybody you talk to that talks about Tanner Angstrand, they talk about he really knows what he's talking about, and it showed today.
Quinnen Williams got the defense going today on a sack, or with a sack of Aaron Rodgers on that first possession. Caroline Hendershot caught up with the Jets team captain after the game.
Here with Quinnen Williams. Quinnen, 4 sacks as a defensive line unit today. What was working so well for you guys as you were rushing as a unit?
Just rushing together, doing the things that we needed to do and our plan this week and the things we went over and just rushing together. You got a guy, Will McDonald, is an unbelievable pass rusher, I feel like. And you got a guy like Jermaine Johnson who's coming back, an unbelievable player also. And then you got myself just doing the things I can do when it come down to pushing the pocket and defeating the double teams. And when we all rush together, we all can get a chance to affect the quarterback. So
I know you've only gotten to practice with him. You haven't gotten those game reps yet until today with Harrison Phillips next to you. What was that dynamic like for you?
He's an unbelievable player. And you can see it on the field. You can see it at practice. You can see it every single day. We got a lot of things to clean up, me, myself included, the whole defense included. But it's going to go in the right direction. I feel like our DNA is heading us, going to take us to the right direction. We just got to clean up the small things that make teams lose games. So
I know this is a frustrating loss. It comes down to the wire, only by a couple points. What can you take from this game that you did well as a defense and use it as you host the Bills next week?
We got to do the things to not lose games, and that's the main thing we got to focus on. We did a lot of good stuff today, but the small things, the things that make teams lose games, we unfortunately did today, and we got to get those things out of our DNA and out of our system. So,
awesome. Appreciate the time, Q.
Thank you.
The NFL Fan of the Year contest presented by Captain Morgan is back, and the Jets are looking to celebrate extraordinary fans who will represent the team at Super Bowl 60 in San Francisco. Visit myjets.com/fan of the year to submit your nomination. Now, we just heard from one of the Jets team captains, Quinnen Williams. Listen, I think in all, you're upset, you're disappointed you lost this game, but you saw a lot of elements out there today from the green and white that says, okay, there's a couple things they got to clean up, but this is a team that can win a lot of games.
Absolutely. I don't think that you leave this game as a fan, as a player, as a coach, thinking that this is going down, right? I think you're only up from here. And it's a great game, right? The Steelers are a playoff team. We have to remember that. And they just added Aaron Rodgers. Now, as much as we can talk down on Aaron Rodgers, he's still Aaron Rodgers, right? There's still pieces of him that was really successful today for a reason. He has more playmakers on that team, right? And so I think for the Jets, it's about cleaning up those small things. 7 penalties, so I think Steelers had 3 or 4, right? You had the fumble. The Steelers had no turnovers, right? Those are the small things that really change the course of a game. That's a 14-point swing right there, right? So I think that right there causes you to lose games that you don't want to lose.
Yeah, well, let's get to the report cards right now. And where do you want to start? Let's save offense, okay? I'm going to throw a curveball at you. Let's go special teams first because you just mentioned the turnover.
Yeah, so special teams, you got to go with a C there. I think, honestly, McNamara had a couple good punts in there. Folk with a 54-yard field goal. I mean, all those things are going to put you at an A. But when you turn the ball over and then that turnover turns into a touchdown 2 plays later, I got to give you a C for that.
Yeah, I went with the C as well. You lost Wanwu, unfortunately, to a hamstring injury. Xavier Gibson had a good return there early in the game. It was just unfortunate there. You're still up early in the fourth quarter. Yeah. You turn the ball over, and before you know it, Rodgers throws another touchdown pass, and you're trying to come from behind. With that being said, hey, shout out to Nick Folk hitting the 55-yarder, okay? Because a lot of people are saying, well, what's his range right now? Well, he showed you on a perfect day at MetLife Stadium. He can get it in from 55 and beyond. How about defense?
Yeah, so going into the fourth quarter, the score was 17-26. Coming out of the fourth quarter, it was 34-32, right? So that's 17 points that the Steelers ended up getting, and that was all on the offensive side. Obviously, we talked about the turnover, right? There was an unnecessary roughness. That unnecessary roughness on that drive led to a touchdown. Multiple times that they had some missed tackles in that first half on DK Metcalf. So I think all those different things really changed the course of the game. And they're fixable, right? This is game one. I'm not here to talk down on this team and say that they did not play well. This C is for them to have an opportunity to get better. So I gave them a C.
I was encouraged by what we saw up front, and I cheated the Jets off 1 sack. I said 3. They had 4 sacks. Quinnen Williams had a sack. You have Will McDonald, who's going to be a force. He had 10.5 sacks last year. He comes up with 2 today. You mentioned Quinnen Williams. I mean, now he's talking about how comfortable he is next to Harrison Phillips. Great trade acquisition there. So 4 sacks in all. Also, the Jets limited what the Steelers did on the ground. But on the other side of the coin, Aaron Rodgers did Aaron Rodgers things. 22 of 30 in all, and he had the 4 touchdown passes. What did you make, before we get to the offense, what did you make of the Jets sticking Sauce Gardner on DK Metcalf throughout the game?
Yeah, I loved it. I think anytime that DK Metcalf had a big play, Sauce Gardner was not on him. So that tells you something, right? So there was a few plays, even on that drive before they ended up getting that touchdown where they ended up punting the ball. Sauce was all over him. Every single play that they had, Sauce was there. And I think it's a testament to who he is and how hard he's worked that he's going to take out your number 1 receiver. It's unfortunate that on a couple of those plays, there was a blitz on one that Michael Carter blitzed, and then Tony Adams missed a tackle, and then another one where he wasn't covering him. Otherwise, it would have been a slow day.
Yeah, and overall, I think to a man, the defense, we're going to hear from them in the locker room later, that they'll say the tackling has to get better.
Yeah.
Okay. Offense.
Offense. I get him an A. That was an A. That was an A day. You're talking about 16 for 22 and 3 total touchdowns for Justin Fields, right? 145 total yards for Breece Hall. I mean, those guys showed up today. The offensive line was great. I don't think Justin Fields really got sacked. And even if he was going to get sacked, the guy was so elusive. There were so many times where it felt like he was supposed to go down and did not go down, and then made a great play with his legs. So, I mean, it was a great showing for this offense today.
Man, I'd love to give the offense an A+, but I'll go A.
Listen,
you consider what they went through here this week. Elijah Vera-Tucker, a team leader, maybe your most complete offensive lineman. He's on the injured reserve, so you start Josh Myers at center. Joe Tippmann gets the call at right guard. Justin Fields was magnificent today. You saw exactly why the Jets targeted this guy in free agency. And Garrett Wilson, he was doing Garrett Wilson things. Breece Hall, a really good performance. I thought that was one of Breece Hall's best professional efforts. And one thing that we were talking about in the press box, his vision.
Yeah.
And the way he was finishing runs.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to talk about it too much in my breakdown, but there was a great job of really finding those holes. There's a lot of zone reads for him, and he was finding the small pockets. Sometimes it looked like he was supposed to have a bigger hole. He would find a pocket and split that for like 10 yards.
I think we're going to have an opportunity to say goodbye after this, but Justin Fields is at the podium. Let's hear from him now.
The final play of the game. You have the lane to run. You end up throwing it to Garrett. Can you just take us through your thought process there?
I'm just playing ball at the end of the day. I think they went drop 8, drop some D linemen. Probably could have gotten the first down, but like I said, I just threw it to Garrett. I mean, it's really not much to explain at the end of the day. He was open. I don't know what to tell you, brother.
I know there are not any moral victories in the league, but just some of the things. What are some of the things you can kind of take away from a game like this?
I think we played well. I think we ran the ball well. Offensive line did a great job. I think we only had 1 sack, and that was in the red zone. So I think as a team, I think we were, bouncing and kind of keeping each other in the fight. If that 1 turnover, they scored. Offense, we came back and didn't let that phase us. So, like I said, a lot of fight from our team, and I don't think a lot of people expected us to come out like that. But like I said, like you said, no more.
I completely agree with Justin Fields when he says A lot of fight, and I don't think a lot of people expected us to come out like that. I mean, this team is not going to rest on their laurels. They lost.
Yep.
And there's no moral victories in the National Football League, but you have to look at the film, correct the mistakes, and then get ready for the Buffalo Bills because that team has dominated the AFC East the past 5 seasons.
Yeah, it's a big test coming up, right?
Yeah.
And you did a good job against an AFC opponent. Now we get to see an AFC East opponent at home, right? I think that's a great challenge for this team and a great opportunity for the Jets fans to show up and really get loud. I think this is an exciting team. There's been a couple years where we've thought it was going to be really exciting, but this one feels electric. So, I think it's going to be a great game.
The Jets outgained the Steelers today, 394 to 271. There was only one turnover, and the Steelers capitalized on that one. Chris Boswell ends it with the 60-yard field goal. Unfortunately, the Jets weren't able to get in position to give Folk Hero an opportunity to win the game, but a lot of bright spots, a lot to build from, and a lot to correct. But final words here. They showed a brand of football that Aaron Glenn wants to get them to, okay? Like, it's not complete yet, but we saw glimpses of what this team can become.
Yeah, we saw physical ground and pound on the offensive side, and we saw really physical get after the quarterback on the defensive side. I think that's what their makeup wants to be, and so I think it's going to be great for the season to come.
All right, that's it for Quincy Enunwa and the cast of thousands here at MetLife Stadium. I'm Eric Allen. We'll see you next week.